And here we go. Week 2 is history. Week 3 is a mystery. Welcome to another episode of Capping at the Bay. I'm your host, Eric Cooley. To my left on my screen, we got Patrick Grigsby. And to my right, we have a new guest, Mr. Ryan Flynn. Ryan, I've already been told that you're a Chiefs fan, so I'm not going to like this episode. But but thank you for being on the show. I got to ask before we start this. Well, why the Chiefs?
Why the Chiefs?
Regionality.
Well, first of all, I lived in Missouri. I was born in Missouri, and it was just something where, like, I grew up as a Chiefs fan. I was nearly born in the Arrowhead Stadium parking lot. Like, I couldn't help but be a Chiefs fan since I was born, and I'm doing the same for my son. He was 2 weeks old when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
Right before the world fell apart.
Right before the world fell apart.
Okay, I'll accept that reasoning over Patrick's then. I feel like he's still bandwagon. But
South of Kansas City.
But all right, so let's go ahead and get down to it. Week 2, we saw some big surprises, but I feel like we saw more disappointments than anything. We saw Ravens get upset in the final minutes. We saw the Browns get upset at final minutes, and even Cardinals came back against the Raiders. I want to ask, let's go ahead and go with Grigsby first. Who was the biggest disappointment out of week 2?
I tried to pick a couple. There's some really obvious ones. It was definitely upsets all over the place, especially the Browns and the Ravens are the big ones. I feel like that everybody's talking about. The Titans got smashed, like absolutely destroyed by the Bills. And the Bills are good and they're hot right now, but I was very disappointing from the Titans, dude. They scored like 24 in the third quarter. Ridiculous. My other one is obviously the Raiders. That was just ugly. You're up 20 in the fourth quarter, man. You're in the AFC West. You can't afford to lose stupid games like that. And that's twice now, right? Because Carr threw 3 interceptions against the Chargers, and they weren't out of that game. So can't be doing that. And then the Vikings, man. The Vikings probably my last one. Very disappointed. The Eagles are the real deal. That was my Super Bowl pick. So, but yeah, I expected them to be better than that, especially after they smashed Green Bay.
Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with the obvious one, the Jets beating the Browns. Jacoby Brissett is terrible. I get that. But you have Myles Garrett. That's a whole defense in one player. So it's the Jets. And against the Jets, how do you lose against the Jets when you have somebody like Myles Garrett? It didn't make sense to me. Joe Flacco coming out there and beating up on him. No, that's a big upset. Way to go, Jets.
Yes, way to go, Jets indeed. Yeah, I understand Titans and I understand the Browns, but the Ravens and being able to put up those kind of points in the fourth or before the fourth, and then still having Lamar and them out there on the field and just not doing anything in the fourth quarter. I gotta go
with the cheetah. You're gonna get bit.
The Dolphins were just smart on that one though, because they just wore out that Ravens defense. That's why they were getting beat the first half. Yeah, they just were running go routes with Waddle and Hill, making them chase them all around the field, and then eventually you're gonna get tired. You run that much, you're gonna get tired. So
I saw
they just started taking it to them.
The first 107 minutes so far of this season, the Miami offense scored 2 touchdowns. In the last 12 minutes, they've scored 4.
Just wearing people out, bro.
Right. Yeah, that's the nastiest. As far as like just from a pure speed perspective, that's the best duo in the NFL, just purely from a speed perspective.
And Mostert isn't slow either. I mean, he doesn't get used.
The backfield's nasty too. He actually had like 3 or 4 runs last year out of like the top 5. He had like 3 or 4 of them that were the fastest runs in the NFL, including, Tyreek Hill and MVS and everybody else.
But I already told you guys from the very start, as long as Lamar is being contained, you can beat the Ravens 99% of the time. That's how the Steelers have been whooping up on the Ravens for the past 2 seasons.
I don't know if 300 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air and 100 yards on the ground and another rushing touchdown is contained.
He's pulling a Patrick Mahomes. He's
It's
like,
his
oh,
story.
Bateman's out there somewhere, or Duvernay.
Nah,
He's
yeah, I
just
don't
gonna
agree with
the
that.
damn ball.
Wait, are you comparing Bateman to Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce?
No, he's just saying he's trying to do the same thing. Not that it's a legitimate comparison.
Those guys aren't the same. You can't just lob it up to
Right.
But I mean,
shot
with that,
Bateman.
but with that 10-yard or 5 to 10-yard slant that Bateman had against the Miami defense, and Lamar just threw it to him, and then he turned on the Jets.
Very much like Hill did
He
against
does
Buffalo
have the
last year in
speed.
the playoff game.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Yeah, we definitely have different opinions, but one thing's for sure, the NFL season just from week 2 is very unpredictable. So hopefully they get their crap straightened up towards week 4 at least, especially for my fantasy team.
Miami's the real deal. Watch out.
All right. So now that we got to the disappointments, let's go ahead. We already talked about not doing the top 5 just this week. We're going to do the top 6 undefeated teams right now. There's only 6. We got the Chiefs, we got the Eagles, got the Bills, Dolphins, and help me out with this, Grigsby.
Giants,
Bucks, and the Bucks. So let's start out with Ryan on this one. Who do you have in your order for the top 6 undefeated teams?
I don't want to admit it. I don't have my Chiefs number 1. I want to put them there, but it's just wrong. Bills got to be the number 1. They just have so much talent. They're absolutely dominating everybody they play. You have to pick them. But since I'm a Chiefs fan, Chiefs going number 2. You know that's true. And then the bottom 2 has got to be Giants and Packers. I'm not impressed with what Packers have done. Like Giants, it's kind of obvious, right? Like
Packers lost one.
Oh, it's not the Packers. You're right. They lost one. Who's
The
the other
Bucks,
one?
Eagles,
I'm
and
missing
Giants and Dolphins.
You probably meant the Bucks, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, Bucks have looked pretty bad too, but I still don't think I put him at the bottom because of Tom Brady. You know, Tom Brady is going to win you ball games regardless. He doesn't, you know, with Mike Evans going to be gone this next week. I don't really see that being a problem. Tom Brady does what Tom Brady does. He's not that good of an athlete. He's not, I don't even want to say he's the smartest. He's just the best game manager there is. Like, he will win you football games no matter what you give him. It's what he does. So no, not him. I think I can't put Eagles down there. So, I mean, that only leaves me one, right? Who's that leave me?
Giants are definitely last.
Giants are definitely last. There's somebody in the middle that I'm missing here.
Bucks to the Dolphins.
Dolphins. Yep. I'm putting
But
Dolphins
and
down.
one of them will not be undefeated at the end of this week. So, you know, we'll
Right.
figure that out between the Bills and the Dolphins.
Yeah, that.
And at least 5.
I mean, Dolphins aren't going to win that game. First of all, they got a lot of speed, but I just don't see Tua pulling it off 2 weeks in a row. He did real
Tyreek Hill
great.
beat him before.
They have. This is a different team. They had a great draft. They picked up Von Miller, which was huge. They didn't
Looks
really
like he lost
lose
a couple
that
of years
much
too. Took a step backwards.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, shoot, Von may be old, but he'll still get it done.
No, that's what I'm saying. It looks like he turned back time. Looks like he's a couple
Right?
years younger now.
Everywhere he goes, there's a Super Bowl. When he was in Denver, Super Bowl. When he was in the Los Angeles last year, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's meant to win. So I got to put Dolphins at the bottom. They're fast, they're great. They're not going to finish undefeated, and they're not going to win that division.
Grigsby?
Bottom besides Giants. Let me clarify. Giants still are at the bottom, but they're just kind of you don't talk
Let's
about.
just
them.
assume.
Just good for them. They got 2 wins. Pat yourself on the back. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I got the Chiefs at the top. And here, okay, so stay with me. Here's my reasoning. Right. So who's the Bills played, right? Is right now Are the Cardinals better than the Titans?
Barely.
Right now, yes.
Okay. Are the Chargers better than the Rams?
Yes.
Right now, no.
So who's had the hardest schedule? Right. Everybody's, oh, they beat the Super Bowl champ. Like, bro, Kansas City's played the hardest schedule so far and won. It was ugly, but I mean, like, we knew going into that game, the Chargers is a top 3 team right there. I mean, they're not undefeated, but it's a top 5. But I got Chiefs, Bills, then I got the Eagles. That was my Super Bowl pick, and they're crushing it. Jalen Hurts is playing off the charts. And then I got the Bucks because they have Tom Brady still. And they have they play the Packers this week, right? So they're missing Godwin. Now they're missing Evans. Who knows what's up with Julio? So like the receiving core is still as good as a Packers receiving core, right?
I can go either way on that.
Right.
one.
Yeah, you got to think about it. That's what 3 stars, potentially missing. And then the Dolphins, I just got to see more from them. We'll see what happens this week. See if they get crushed like everybody else. And then the Giants are definitely at the bottom. Just not Dayball. I think is doing the right thing. They're headed the right direction. But I just got to see more.
Pat yourself on the back.
Right.
So,
you made it this far.
I'll start off at the bottom. So unfortunately, I got to go Giants at 6. I mean, I'm a true believer of Saquon Barkley. He's on the come up again, but just having Daniel Dimes as a quarterback, it's not going to work out for the Giants. I don't know. Maybe they can, because I believe the Giants they're actually the favorite Monday night against the Cowboys. So they might pull it out. I don't know, but they're number 6 for me. 5, I got the Bucks. Yes, they do have Tom Brady, but Godwin and Evans is 80% of your targets these past few years. Now you only have Julio Jones, he's aging, and I don't see that like being a Super Bowl contender kind of thing.
And the best defense in football.
No, that's the Bills.
And that.
Four's the Dolphins. I gotta put the Eagles above them. Yeah, you're pulling off probably the best comeback of the season, but it's not going to work out. If you're going against the Eagles this weekend, then you're going to get blown out. So I have Dolphins 4, Eagles 3, 2's the Chiefs. I like how Grigsby tried to point out the opponents they had the past few weeks. Yeah, come on, the Bills beating the defending Super Bowl champs and shutting out Derrick Henry.
Just gives them the crown without them actually earning it. They've never beat us when it actually mattered. They beat us one time in the rain in the regular season. That's it.
Hey, losing to the Bengals twice in a year.
And look at Patrick Mahomes' record versus Von Miller. I bet it's pretty bad.
But hey, the Bills are number 1. I thought that having the aging Von Miller in as defense, I thought that was going to put them down a little bit, but they're actually improving. And just Josh Allen with Stephon Diggs, they don't have a run game, but Josh Allen is he's making that up for sure. So, him running the ball, he definitely needs to calm down though. Him with all those runs, he's going to get injured.
Arm is too talented. Not that he shouldn't use his legs.
He's the future Ben Roethlisberger. I'm saying that right now. He's going to get injured doing all that.
That didn't end super hot, man. You can only take so many hits by those big dudes.
So now that we got that, I hate that I put this in the notes, but we're going to go to a segment that was last year. We're bringing it back. It's what occurred at the Berg. It's what's been going down in Pittsburgh, because what hasn't been going down in Pittsburgh.
Touchdowns.
This past weekend, the Steelers did lose to the Patriots 17-14. And it just, the question keeps coming up, is Kenny Pickett going to get the starting position? That's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what'll happen first the offensive coordinator gets fired or Pickett gets the starting spot. Let's start out with you, Grigsby.
Oh, Pickett's they're gonna put Pickett in before they get rid of Canada. I mean, I feel like he's on a short leash, but they've never their offense has never been. I mean, you had like the Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown period, and besides that, they've never had the super crazy electric offense. It's always been defense driven teams, right? And that's why I haven't had a winning record since 2003, something like that. It's like ridiculously long, like way out in front. And once Tom Brady left, but no, yeah, it's Pickett's definitely going to get the start. He's pretty close already. And I was looking at this earlier. I was looking at some of the highlights, and Najee only finished with 3.3 yards a clip. That's not good. That's not good. I don't know if this is so much a Trubisky problem as it is an offensive line problem. They didn't really get fixed in the offseason. There was a couple of different veterans that got brought in, and it doesn't look like, he got sacked, 3 times, and that could be from him hanging on to the ball too long and trying to use his legs more. But, it's just not looking good for them. I think it's going to be Pickett time, but hopefully they don't ruin him, and put him in too early, especially, without any protection. He's going to be Joe Burrow, 2.0, running for his life. If Najee Harris ain't getting at least 4 or 5 yards a clip,
Right.
I don't think that's him.
I don't know, man. The thing is it's an offensive problem. Yes, their offense sucked,
Right.
but it was just so many opportunities that were blown. The punt that got jacked. It was just so many things that it just felt like I was watching a train wreck. It wasn't even how they were playing. It was just everything was going wrong when it could. And so, honestly, I would say a new special teams coach, but definitely Kenny Pickett before their offensive coordinator, because they're not going to fire a coach in the middle of the season.
Right. When they just drafted a new quarterback.
Right. So they might as well just put him in there to make people happy. But if they don't fix just the mistakes, especially on special teams, then, I mean, they're just going to hurt all seasons. They might as well throw in the new guy and let him try.
Right. Especially you start to get below 500, right? Missing TJ Watt. He's out for 6 weeks or 5 weeks now. Right. So, you guys.
And torn pec, that could go longer.
Yep. Well, they said probably about 6 weeks because he didn't need surgery. If he hadn't needed surgery, he'd have been done as of that season, see next year. But, they didn't below 500 and their schedule is not super weak. Didn't you have them winning this game?
Did I? No, I had them losing by not bad. I think it was them losing by 3 or less.
I picked them to win, so I thought they were going to win. But that definitely kind of raises an alarm. They didn't get a single sack on Mac Jones, I don't think, right? So it was
not a single one.
TJ Watt or nothing. So they need him back. I think Kenny Pickett, they're going to give at least give him the keys to the car before it crashes completely.
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely even just let it start to crash so then he feels better. If it does crash, he's not oh, it was my fault. He's oh, okay, well, it was gonna crash whether I was here or not. So
file the insurance policy and wait till he gets a new car next year.
Right. He's look, I'm just cashing a check, bro. It's fine. Let me know when next season starts.
All right. So I wish Tomlin and the franchise can listen to this podcast because unfortunately I've been hearing reports that he's going to back up Trubisky no matter what. He's probably going to stay the starter for at least half the season. So in my opinion, it's probably going to be Canada losing the position before Pickett gets the starting position. I mean,
you don't think they're going to give him a half a season?
If you guys dip way below 500,
going. So the other thing was Todd Haley, who was the former Steeler offensive coordinator. He pointed it out pretty well that you're going to get run down to the mud if you're the offensive coordinator for the Steelers. It hasn't been working this entire time. I think after Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown left Pittsburgh,
which they never won a title with. One of the most electric offenses in football and never won a title.
And that's the thing is that even though you have a good offense, you still need a good defense. And they had the crappiest defense in those years. They had to
Michigan
rely on the
Patrick Mahomes.
offense, where it's flipping over to where we're relying on the defense to score, which is not their freaking job. But
Right.
but having Trubisky, who's not looking down the field, he's not heaving the ball like Ben used to do. He's checking down over at Najee Harris at 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10. So that if you were at the same house as me and my dad watching Pittsburgh Steelers football, yeah, you would understand. So, but I can see Canada losing his position first.
I think he's definitely on the hot seat, but if you're asking me if we're going to see Pickett before he gets fired, I think we'll see Pickett before that. But he's definitely,
We'll probably see Pickett.
he's definitely on the chopping block.
All right, let's go ahead and go to the next. I'm tired of. Let me have a normal heartbeat before Thursday night with the Steelers and the Browns. So let's go ahead and go to the next segment, which is the week 3 biggest matchup. There's a lot of tough ones. Ryan, let's start out with you. What is the biggest matchup in your own opinion?
To me, it's the Giants and the Cowboys.
Ooh, that's
just because I want to see if the Giants are going to keep it going and if the Cowboys are going to be the Cowboys. It's a dirtbag match that I absolutely love, and I can't wait for it. Like these guys are the punching bags of the league, and I can't wait to see which one gets punched on more.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
It's gonna be a bad one. Yeah, I got the match of the week is definitely Buffalo Miami. I want to see if that's let's see how real Miami is, because that's going to be like the biggest litmus test or whatever to see where they're at. I also got Detroit and Minnesota. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good matchup.
Really?
Everybody's against it. I think Detroit's a real deal. They might end up winning more than 7. Like I said, I think they'll win at least 7, with a ceiling of probably around 10. But yeah, so them, San Francisco,
10 wins for Detroit.
Huh?
10 wins for Detroit.
That's their ceiling. That's we're talking.
That's
That's
not
what I'm predicting. That's not what I'm predicting. But yeah, they win at least 7. This is safe, right? But also San Francisco and Denver. That's going to be a good matchup. It's going to be pretty much what Pittsburgh and New England was this week. I think it's going to be just a brutal, I think see if somebody can punch it in kind of game. And then Green Bay and Tampa Bay obviously is pretty solid. So
that was definitely my answer.
It's probably the one of the most overhyped games of the week. I don't think it's going to be as good a game as everybody thinks it's going to be.
I don't think so either. I think
so either.
Bucks are just going to keep it a low scoring game.
I don't think
Green Bay has nobody to throw to.
Right.
Tampa won't have Mike Evans. It's going to be like
you're not gonna be able to run the ball against them. That's a nasty defense, dude. I don't think Green Bay is gonna get much going. So
it'd be good to fall asleep too.
Yeah, right. I think it's like baseball. You can take a nap, wake up, and he didn't miss it. 2 highlights.
Get ready for the 49ers Broncos game later that night. But I got the Packers and the Bucks. So they have it right now, Tampa Bay at -1, and the over-under is 42. So I can definitely see it being a low-scoring game. But just the fact that the Packers, they finally realized that they have weapons besides Watson. They still got Lazard. They still got Tanyan for Aaron Rodgers to throw to. And, everybody had the Packers defense at top 5 for fantasies. And I didn't see that at all. I went past that. They're still going to get blown out the waters. But the fact that Tom Brady doesn't have anybody to throw to, it's going to be a 17-13 game. Now, who's going to win? I can kind of see the Packers winning that 17-13.
I don't know, man. Who is Aaron Rodgers going to throw to? He hates his wide receiver.
Yeah, 24 to 10.
Besides that streak that he threw to Watson, I think he's more PO'd about his offensive line. For week
he's got
1,
plenty to be mad about is the point. And you think they're going to beat the Bucks with that badass defense.
Yeah, right. They ain't gonna be moving the ball at all.
No, they won't be able to move the ball.
Rodgers gonna throw a pick six.
Because the offensive line or his garbage wide receivers that are all either first year or 13th year, like there's no way that they can move the ball on Bucks.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, if I had Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon in my backfield, I would be tossing over to them. I already don't trust my offensive line. I'm gonna get it over to the outside of the line and gain yards that way. But yeah, he's finally figuring out his wide receivers. I feel like week 3, I finally figured out where my wide receivers are, their strengths or weaknesses. I have faith in them now. So that's how I see it in Aaron Rodgers' eyes. I don't like the guy, but I really respect him. So yeah,
all right.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Thursday with Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Who do you guys have winning that game?
Man, that's like what a pick 'em, you know. No, I think the Browns got a little bit more elite. Their offensive line's insanely better. The run game right now is better. Not that I'd still take Chubb over Najee Harris probably, but outside of a fantasy perspective, which isn't going great for him either. But yeah, I think I'd take the Browns there because their defense is still legit. Maybe not be as good as Steelers, but Steelers isn't very good without TJ Watt.
Yeah, I'm torn on this one. If the Steelers had TJ Watt, this would be a completely different game.
For sure.
Like, I would have Steelers for sure, just because I don't think Jacoby Brissett would be able to move, let alone
nightmares.
Football. He'd just be stuck, terrified, waiting to get hit over the head with a helmet.
Right.
But I don't know. I got to give it to the Browns on this one. They do still have their pass rusher. They do have a good defense. And I think Steelers are just, unless Najee Harris gets the ball 300 times, then there's just not going to be able to move it.
Minimum.
I don't see it happening. Yeah. 300 times minimum. It'll be another low-scoring game, kind of like the Packers and the Bucks. I take the under.
Definitely take the under.
But I'm going to take the Browns, regretfully.
So if you are a betting man, Cleveland is -4.5 right now, and the over/under is 38.5.
Ooh, 38 is low though. 38 is low.
Let me go while I do my whole argument. But for the fact that they're -4.5, that's unbelievable for a Steeler-Brown rivalry matchup. It's always going to come down to 3 points. So that I would do Steelers +4.5 on that one. But you guys are right that they don't have TJ Watt, and the replacement is not really. He has a lot of shoes to fill. Like there's gaps in that shoe. So they got to rely on Fitzpatrick on this one. But Jacoby Brissett as the quarterback, I don't see that going in the favor of the Browns. So of course I got to go with the Steelers on that one.
Who do you think's better, Jacoby Brissett or Mitch Trubisky?
There's a pick 'em, right?
Kenny Pickett. Well,
yeah, does Kenny Pickett get a play? Because that may change my answer.
They got to do what the Eagles did when Carson Wentz was still in Philadelphia. They got to have Trubisky as a starting QB, and just some odd plays. You got to put Pickett in.
Right. You have to have a package for him, right? But the problem is like their skill sets aren't like vastly different. Honestly, Trubisky's more mobile than Pickett is. So like that's where that works. It's with like Wentz and like Hurts, and you see some of them quarterback, or like right now at the Titans, where they got Malik Willis. Like guarantee you, they got a completely different set of plays for him than they do Ryan Tannehill. So like it just kind of depends, man. But they're both like similarly like as far as like athletically, and Trubisky might even have the edge there with his legs. She's like,
I feel like it's the confidence level. I feel like they're more confident with Kenny Pickett and
well, I think Kenny Pickett's actually played more games on that field than him, right?
yeah. Hey, but I did see that Trubisky is 4-0 against AFC North.
Oh,
Doesn't mean much. No, that he's 1-0 with the Steelers against AFC North teams, but 3-0 whenever he was with Chicago. I don't know if that means anything, especially when he had Matt Nagy as his head coach. Actually, that means a lot. All right. So that comes to our last segment. If you guys got a hat, get it prepared now because it is time for cap or no cap. Of course, it's rapid fire statements, and you just got to know if I'm capping or not capping. I'll go ahead and go first with the Buccaneers losing their first game this weekend against the Packers.
That's definitely cap. I don't have a hat, but put it on.
That's no cap.
Cap for sure. Yeah, I think the Bucs are still by far the better team, better roster, less holes. They have some missing players, but like I said, like even losing their top 2 wide receivers are still just as good as Packers receivers. So yeah, but what aging Sammy Watkins is your number 1 and Lazard, right?
Yeah. Hey.
Cap.
Definitely cap. But Bucks are gonna win this. Packers aren't that good this year. I'm just waiting for people to catch on.
Right. Yeah, I don't think they finished top 2 in their division.
They might finish second in their division.
Ooh, he's still relying on the Lions to go pretty far.
Yeah, you think the Lions are going big time?
Dude, I'm
Do you
telling
think
you,
both the Lions and the Vikings are going to finish higher?
Building a culture is way different, man. Campbell's doing it right. He's got the people behind him. He's got some nasty players. Not only that, but like here in like a couple weeks, they get Williams back too, a wide receiver. So they have Amon-Ra St. Brown with Williams. That's one of the best wide receiver duos in the league, bro. That's nasty. That is especially what Amon-Ra St. Brown's had 8 straight games of 8+ catches and a touchdown. Like, I mean, like he's an elite wide receiver 1. Talking fantasy or straight up or
yeah.
And then they got Smith in the backfield. They got low key one of the best offensive lines in football. I'm telling you, the Lions are on a come up. They're gonna do big things. I don't know if they'll beat the Packers this year. We'll see. Just shout.
A lot better than Valdez-Scantling and Juju duo. Am I right?
They don't need him. That's just
like that.
Oh
you still got Travis Kelce, and I mean they're enough to spread out the field. That's okay. Patrick Mahomes can throw to anybody. Can Jared Goff?
7 touchdowns to 6 different receivers.
It's those
without Sky Moore.
Those little tosses that he does to Travis Kelce, and they count that as a passing touchdown. I don't believe that.
It's overhand. He brings it up.
What about the other 5 though?
I'm still relying on that one to.
Right. Like he hit CEH twice.
I rest my case. I'll go with one more, and then we'll go with Grigsby. Cap or no cap? Giants lose their first game against the Cowboys. I'm taking my hat off on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go no cap just because it's been the Giants. They have like the worst record of football over the past like 4 or 5 years, or one of them and the Jets and the Jaguars. But I'm gonna go no cap. Cowboys looked all right last week. I know they're playing the Bengals, but it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities for them to, the Cowboys, Cooper Rush come in and beat Daniel Jones. Like, not exactly prime time matchup.
Giants are -1 and over unders 39 right now.
Yeah, I might take the over on that 39. We'll see what Saquon does. Saquon keeps doing what he's doing. I mean, there's no reason the Giants can't win, but I wouldn't. That's not one I feel strongly about. We're going no cap.
Ryan,
all right. I don't like these Cowboys.
No, I don't either.
I'm putting the cap on.
Out the Giants. They're playing the Giants. Think about team.
I hate Jerry Jones. Nope. I think Giants are going to keep it rolling. They're hot right now. Saquon's still healthy. That won't last all season. Daniel Jones doesn't have to do as much. That's awesome. And Cowboys have Cooper Rush. So, yeah, I'm going to say that the Giants keep it going.
Right.
I hope they do too. I'm rooting for them. I really am.
Everybody that's not living in Texas hopes that happens. Or in
Right.
South of Arkansas is Cowboy fans, and it really frustrates me.
Jerry Jones went to University of Arkansas.
Yeah, and I don't like it.
Yeah. So all right. I got two good ones for you here. The Bengals missed the playoffs. Cap or no cap?
No cap. No cap. I'm going with that. AFC is too strong right now, and especially with the AFC West. That they're going to have 3 teams in AFC West make it to the playoffs. So I got to go with no cap.
See, I just the way that the Raiders have been playing and the Broncos have been playing, I don't think both of those guys can make it in. And somebody's got to fill that third spot after Miami, and after the Chargers. I think it's got to be the Bengals.
You go Cap.
They're not going to win their division, but I think they're taking that wild card.
All right, I got another good one for you. Jaguars win the AFC South.
Oh my goodness.
You should go wash your mouth out with soap.
Yeah.
Jaguars win.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and put that.
Who's gonna win it? The Texans. Right now, they're probably one of the better teams. The Titans.
The Titans.
The Titans will pull it out.
I feel like the Colts are still trying to figure out Matt Ryan.
Will the Jaguars just beat the Colts like 24-0?
Okay, it's week 2. The Patriots
the Cowboys have scored more points than the
Steelers
Colts.
week 2. Patriots beat the Steelers in week 2, but you have TJ Watt back in. It's going to help him out. You figure out Matt Ryan and your little scheme on offense. Yeah, I feel like
he wasn't out. He played.
That, but he played like a Patriots Falcons game in the Super Bowl in the second half.
I think that's very telling because that's what he is.
28-3.
He's a 28-3 comeback.
Yeah.
He's just
think about the trade.
He's old now too to add to that. Like he
got
can't
traded
get
for
it
a third
done, but
pick,
King Henry
28th pick to be exact.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, take it away from him. I say like 2 or 3 more.
He cannot get away from it. But King Henry will get things done as long as King Henry stays healthy. There's no way
I have him on all 3 of my leagues.
Ooh.
Well,
So what, you got the
thing.
Titans? You got the Titans winning it?
Yeah, over the Jags. The division is terrible.
I know that's like it's not that far fetched to say the Jags could
It's
be
terrible. It can't be the
especially
Texans.
if Sunshine gets a little better. There's no reason that they can't be the best team in that division, especially if Matt Ryan ends up flopping. Kind of how I don't know if it's so much Russell Wilson as Nathaniel Hackett. Either way, they're not doing great. No reason that Trevor Lawrence, can't come out on top in that what's looking to be, the new NFC East.
T-Law is not that good, bro. He's just not.
We'll see. He never really had a chance.
When it comes down to pressure situations, he's gonna throw 2 or 3 picks, and then that's.
So did Peyton. Peyton led the league in picks his rookie year. I think he has a record for most interceptions.
That was his rookie year. Okay. I don't have faith yet. I don't see it happening. I think he was overhyped, and we're gonna find out. And if he wasn't, then yeah, I guess they might win. But he's got to beat King Henry by himself on that garbage team, which I guess isn't saying a lot, but it's saying something.
I mean, to have Christian Kirk, Marvin Jones, Evan Ingram, yeah, those aren't top 10
Robinson
names.
and Eddie in the backfield or Ed today.
Yeah, like they got the weapons.
That's a nasty backfield, dude. They got weapons.
Yeah, of course, I don't watch Jaguar football. I don't watch them play. There's a lot better games to watch than them. But I mean, to start off beating the Colts and who they lose to.
They lost their first one.
Oh, the Commanders. Never mind. Yeah, they're not going to win.
That's all it took. They played the Chargers this week too,
Play the
so we'll see how
Chargers.
that goes. Your
Yeah.
division winners are probably about to get stomped on.
Yeah,
And they'll still be in
405
first.
game. Yeah. Hey now.
Well, what the Colts play the Chiefs. They're gonna win that. Jaguars is already out in front, right? Houston plays the Bears. Winnable game for Chicago.
Jets are going to get upset by the
play the
Bengals.
Raiders. Titans play
You
the
know what?
Raiders. The
I bet
entire
you- I can
AFC
see the
South could
Texans
lose
winning.
this week. And Jacksonville would still be in first.
Flynn, hey man, I already got my hat off. All right, that's cap right there
What?
for Texans to win it.
Oh, dude, yeah, definitely. Texas could definitely win that against the Bears. Justin Fields looks terrible.
But if Houston won, nobody's gonna be like, "Wow, I did not expect that."
Apparently, Cooley, he was pretty shocked whenever I said it. He had to stop the conversation. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, Texans could win it. Davis Mills is.
I think so. I think Mills
Okay.
is one of the most underrated quarterbacks from that class for sure. He looks
Underrated for sure. Yeah. He's not great, but
every
underrated.
Thompson's been playing better. I mean, they got a couple of nice pieces on defense now, although there's still a lot of holes. They got a lot of holes on defense.
They got a ton of holes.
They traded
They still are terrible, but so are the Bears. Bears suck too.
Right. We'll see what they do with these next couple first rounds picks these next couple of years.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, I have 63 million in dead cap right now.
That
Because
is
of
awesome.
paying so many people. $63 million that they just like have
Yeah.
going towards like Akeem Hicks, Andy
Very
Dalton, Jared Goff still is getting paid by the Bears. Did you know that? Or not Jared Goff? Who was over there?
Trubisky?
Well, they're paying Trubisky too. There's another quarterback they signed is like Nick Foles.
Nick Foles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
they're paying $63 million to players that aren't even playing this year.
It's
Yeah.
Chicago. That's like a Cleveland situation. They just got to pay everybody still.
They were like all right through like, the tens, right? But or like the 2000s. But the past like 10, 15 years, it's been a rough ride for them.
Yeah.
All right. Ryan,
It's
did you
been
have
longer
a
than
cap
that.
or no cap?
No, actually, the Texans one kind of turned into it, but the one I was thinking actually was Commanders to beat the Eagles.
I don't like
It's
Carson.
ugly, it's nasty, but it's a division rivalry, and
I don't like Carson Wentz.
the Commanders, they are terrible. They're by no means going to even come close in that division. Eagles will stomp them as far as record, but it's a trap game for the Eagles.
It is a trap game. I agree.
It's a
I
trap
agree
game,
with that.
and the Commanders have a few pieces on defense to make things go
And they
astray.
just came off a nasty, primetime win over the Vikings, right? So,
Yeah.
I definitely agree it's a trap game. It's not somebody they can overlook. And Carson Wentz does have an occasional spurt of looking like the former MVP.
I mean, he's one.
He'll look
Or he's
nice.
top three. He's top three in passing yards right now, right?
Something like that.
Probably, yeah, I think so.
So
He
probably
also
a-
threw like
Yeah,
a ton of
two is
picks.
number one, and then Joe Flacco's number 3. So, how legitimate is this list?
It's true.
All right then. Well, I believe that is it. But Ryan, thanks again for being on the show. Of
Thanks
course,
for having me.
Grigsby. We're going to see you next week. Hopefully, we could see Ryan next week. But until then, this is Eric Cooley signing off, and we'll see you next week.